Hey guys, Thunderstud here, and today we are using a few new cards with some old tricks to bring you a super degenerate way to play. It's a deck that's capable of first turn KOs. Just to go over what a first turn KO is versus a one turn KO. One turn KO, you KO someone in one turn. First turn KO, it's turn 1. Your opponent gets no chance to play, and you just win the duel. It's a very toxic way to play the game. Konami doesn't like it. Nobody really likes it. But really, the way you can look at it, playing this deck has about a 10% win ratio. So you're not out there crushing people. Mostly what you're doing is giving people a bunch of free wins. You're giving 9 people free wins, and then you're just completely crushing one person. So that one person has to pay for all those other free wins. But mostly it's an act of charity, but it's solitary. You're playing by yourself. All you have to do is really focus on your plays, and then you'll beat your opponents. So new card that made me jump right back to it is Soul of Fire. You get this from Axel's leveling up, I believe. Your opponent draws one card, select one pyro type monster from your deck and remove it from play. Inflict damage to your opponent equal to a quarter of the attack of the removed monster. The turn you activate this, you cannot attack. The pyro monster we are using is Pyromech Shiryu. He's 2900, so it does about 725 when you banish him. Nothing too crazy, but still very, very useful. And we are using this monster in a normal way. It can tribute summon with 1 tribute. If it's summoned this way, you take 1000 damage in each end phase, which is a lot. But if this card attacks a defense position monster, you can inflict piercing on your opponent. This deck does have means to bring this monster out. It's actually a cool little way to finish a duel. I don't know if it's exactly in the replays, but what you would do was get your normal combos off, which is Bubble Man with See You Later. So Bubble Man will special summon when you have no cards in your hand. You draw 2. See You Later after you use those cards. Summon them again, draw another 2. That's 4 cards. Generally what you're trying to draw into is Restructure Revolution. So this card used to be super, super crazy when it was unlimited. You could just pump up to an insane amount of damage as long as your opponent has a lot of cards in their hand. And we have a few ways to bump up your opponent's hand. Obviously, the new Soul of Fire makes them draw 1 card, and if you mess up a Cup of Ace, that's 2 cards into your opponent's hand. You want to draw into this Revolution, and then you're generally going to win with just your regular damage cards. So I don't want to go too long going over exactly what the deck does. You'll see it in the replays. Just one of the plays, drawing your last Shiryu into your Bubble Man, then you can normal summon it for 1, then you can pierce next turn, and usually finish off with the damage. So a very, very toxic, hateful way to play. Like I said, 10% win ratio. You're not ruining the game, you're just ruining a duel for one person. So still pretty fun. Cool little cards, taking forever to get all of Axel's level up rewards, because it's, I don't know, Volcanics had a lot of hype years ago, but they don't really seem to be doing much right now. So I'm not in a crazy hurry. I will get there eventually. But till then, we're just playing with little Soul of Fire. So I hope you guys enjoy, and thanks for watching. Alright, here we are facing Asceto Kaiba. Going first, so you're about to see that first turn KO. Our opponent will have no chance to make a move. Now we're starting with Card of Sanctity. It's just 3 cards you can't have together. You don't want a Bubble Man, or your Pyromech, or your Cards of Sanctity together in any combination in your hands. You need just 1, and then a bunch of your burn cards. So we start with Soul of Fire, banish our Pyro. That lets us use our Revolution with a 5-card hand first turn. Then we use our Cards of Sanctity. That lets us draw 2, Goblin Thief, Bubble Man. That's perfect because that's an extra 4 draws, so we get 2 there. Second Bubble Man, definitely not what we want, but we get picked up by a Cup of Ace. So then we get our second Cup of Ace, get it again, head flip, 2 instances of damage, but then we have to use our Card of Sanctity once again, getting rid of all our Bubble Man. Banish 2, grab 2, we get an Ukazi, but we got our last, 3rd and final Bubble Man. He is still able to use his effect. We get more than enough for the lethal all through the first turns. Just had to be picked up by a few coin flips. Great, great stuff, guys. Alright, here we are facing a Yami Yugi. Go in second. using a Dark Magician mat. We have no extra deck. We probably could sneak in an extra deck, really don't need to. So this is generally what you want to see with this deck. One Bubble Man with spell cards that are not the one that banishes your hand. And then you're pretty much off to the races. So we've hit him with 2. We did banish or pyro, just regular damage. Now we go with the Cup of Ace. Cup of Ace is to our opponent, but we're not done yet. We get to special summon. That was actually a misplayed normal summon. You still get the effect. We go into another Soul of Fire. Now we have our Revolution. That's pretty much how you win. 1400 damage from that Revolution. Now we get to see you later. Toss our boy back. Special summon our Bubble Man. Now this wasn't a first turn KO. It was a 1-turn KO, but it was not a first turn KO because he went. Alright, here we are facing Akiza. Going first. See what she's got for us. Showing balance. So like I said, you just want Bubble Man, Sanctity, and you never want your Pyro Mech in your hand unless it's with a Sanctity. But just one Bubble Man, that's how you really want to do it. That's the old school way. We get just all burn cards, blow through them. Now we get a special summon our Bubble Man. That's going to be a +2. As long as we can use both those cards. Very good. Soul of Fire works great with Revolution because it does give your opponent a +1. So now first turn, use 5 cards. And then with the Revolution, that's 1k damage. Now we get to see later 2 instances of damage cards and we win this duel. So we get a special summon. Bubble Man once again. We do not get the 2 instances we need. We get a Cup of Ace. Gives it to our opponent. So not the most useful play, but we are very, very close. 375. We have a Bubble Man on the field and 5,500 life points. So we're pretty hard to OTK. And look at what we're fighting. We're fighting Evil Eye. So if you don't know, Evil Eye kind of needs their life points. They need it to use their effects. It will make their Gorgonios crazy strong though. If this guy had a Gorgonio, it goes off the life point difference. And this is a pretty big life point difference. So you would have a really fat monster. But here, he's stuck with Wielder plays. He's got Xyz plays. This would have been a quick, smooth lethal if I didn't have so many life points right now. He did get over 4k, but he would have to get over 5.5k, and that's much, much different than getting over 4k. So he's gonna fall short of lethal. That was honestly a very impressive play for Evil Eye, considering all we gotta do is top deck. We top deck into a Bubble Man, so that is a little riskier if he had some effect negation. We already won the duel with the Ukazi, but we just flexed with a Cup of Ace anyway, and then finish it with that Ukazi, winning the duel. Great stuff, guys. Alright, here we are facing a My Valentine, going second. She's full My Valentine sleeve and mat and character. So she's using Harpy's Hunting Ground. That means she's either Black Wings or Dragon Unity. We do have our card of Sanctity. I think I'm going to use it with the Cup of Ace. We're going to use Soul of Fire first. That lets him draw a card. Important he uses that first, so he has as many cards in his hand as possible. Cup of Ace would have been good either way. Cup of Ace is still going to be good either way, even when our opponent draws, because that just makes our Revolution that much bigger. Really didn't want to see the Bubble Man this early with the Sanctity in hand, but we'll use it anyway. Now we get a Bubble Man and a Goblin Thief. That's really what you want to see. Our opponent's already down to about 1.1 life points, but we get the +2 from the Bubble Man, both damaging instances. Our opponent's down to 75 life points. We used to see later on the Bubble Man. Bubble Man comes right back out, draws 2 more. We just need 1 instance of damage, and we get to finishing off our boy. Great stuff, guys. Alright, here we are facing a Yami Yugi, going first. Using Taya and Dark Magician Girl there. So we're starting with a Bubble Man, that's perfect. Start with a Soul of Fire. Then we just gotta use our Hinotamas. And you know, it just causes dread in your opponent when they start seeing this. Usually once they see the Bubble Man return to your hands, they know they're in trouble. So here we get a Cup of Ace for another +2. We get a second Bubble Man. It's okay though, since we're using Sanctity. Hit him again with our Pyros, so both our Pyros are gone. Now we use our Sanctity. We get a Cup of Ace with the Hinotama, another lucky Cup of Ace. Just falling short of lethal, even if it was all 500. We fall short, but it's up to our opponent now to OTK us. We'll have 4,500 life points. If he's not able to OTK, it's extremely likely we're going to be able to finish him ourselves. And you may not know this, but I know he is Dark Magician, so there's really no means he could have OTK'd us there. He relies on navigation still. And yeah, just taking it out nice and easy, guys. This is what this deck's all about. It's like a 10% win ratio. Even if you're not winning first turn, there are ways to win your second turn, especially with that Pyromech. You didn't really see it in the replay, but you will have turns where you end with a Pyromech on the field, and you'll take a bit of damage, but then he's going to be very threatening and very piercing come your next turn. So, has those first turn KOs in its pocket. It has multiple turn KOs, obviously. Very cool little fun deck. It's not something you play to win, it's something you play to just troll your opponent and to be really mean to some and very nice to a lot in the free wins. So try it out, it's a lot of fun. You're mostly giving people wins, so don't feel too bad. And thanks for watching, guys.